Hello, today in my storytelling playlist I'm going to discuss the doors of San Miguel de Allende. If you don't know, I just moved to Mexico from South Korea and it's been challenging so far, to say the least. And the last week or so I've been struggling to find an apartment. So I've been in a lot of hotels like this one and varying qualities. I had a very interesting weekend I'm going to talk about in the next storytelling video. But for this video, I want to discuss two things that have kind of taken me in San Miguel. So the first is the distressed quality of the architecture. You can see my video on Detroit if you want to see where I come from and how I could possibly connect to this. And I have to say, having been here a little while now, I definitely connect with that aspect of this place. Something about that part of it just feels like home to me. I'm still not sure how I feel about this place. There are pros and cons, like anywhere. And I'm in a chaotic time, so, there's going to be high highs and low lows during that time. Once I get more settled, I'll have a better idea. But for now, I'm really taken by the architecture and the weathered quality of everything. I'm also very, very taken by the many unique doors in this city. I don't think I've seen more unique doors with character in any place I've ever been in my life. And I'm a firm believer in symbols. If you watched my channel, you know that. So that was something that struck me as I was walking around, getting my bearings and looking for an apartment, is the door is like a symbol. And like this place, no two doors are alike in your life. When you're going through new doors, they're all always different. Even if they look familiar, they're going to have a different kind of vibe going through them. But, the door is a great symbol for transformation and transition, for thresholds, for growth, not just personal growth, but spiritual growth, opportunity and potential. Doors can guard secrets, and they can be the connection between realms. And as you can see by all these photos, there's just so many beautiful doors here. And I definitely think that it hit me in a spiritual way when I saw them. My second novel has a lot to do with doors, so it really connected with me. But yeah, there's just so many beautiful doors, and I was taking pictures constantly, and this was probably just 1% of the doors that I saw. I could have easily just, every house, every building just taken another shot. That's how many there were. And there's some that, I just couldn't get because a car was in the way or there were too many people or something. But if you ever come here, you're just going to be like, oh my God, these doors are amazing. But the other night on Friday, they were going to have a tree lighting ceremony in Zona Centro, which is kind of the downtown, near the church of St. Michael the Archangel. And as you can see by this photo, it is a beautiful church. It's just gorgeous. Yeah, that's like one of the major draws of why people come here, but it is a very amazing place. Well, what happened that night, which I kind of feel like was also maybe the universe trying to tell me something, is I was in a hostel and there was this crazy girl in the hostel, and I'll explain more about her in the next storytelling video. But she mentioned if I was going to the tree lighting ceremony, because they have this gigantic tree in front of the church. And I said, yeah, I'm going to go. And like literally right after I said I was going to go, it started pouring rain. And then the electricity went out. And so we're sitting there in the dark, me and this woman, and I'll explain more about her vibe in the next video, but it was just awkward. So I was like, I'm just going to go. So I said goodbye and I left, and I'm just walking, and the rain stopped, but the electricity did not come back on. So I'm walking down to this Centro area thinking, well, maybe I won't even see the tree lit because the electricity is off. But I figured I'd walk there anyway because I didn't really have anything else to do. And I got down there and there were just all these people, but I couldn't see any of them. It was really bizarre because there were no lights, like nothing was lit up. There were a few street vendors that had lights because they had like a generator or something, but it was super dark. I couldn't even see people's faces as I was walking through the crowd. It was interesting, the mariachi band was still playing because obviously they're acoustic, so they were still playing, but there were all these children and families and stuff, and it was just odd because everybody was like a shadow. And then finally I was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna go, because I waited there for a while. I mean, it was supposed to happen, I think, at 7 p.m. and by like 7:45 it wasn't happening, and I was just like, well, maybe I'll just go back. So I started walking back, and as soon as I got out of the courtyard area, it all just came back on. And then everyone started cheering, and then there were fireworks, and it was a pretty crazy experience. It wasn't like the ideal experience, I guess, because, you know, when you go to a thing like that, you're kind of like people watching, and obviously that wasn't part of it for me, but it was definitely an interesting experience. And I think that also was kind of a symbol of not, you know, I'm a stranger here, so like all the people were just shadows. I didn't know any of them, and, you know, I'm in a foreign place by myself, and yeah, well, maybe the lights coming on is a good sign, I don't know. But that's all I got for this video. You should keep an eye out for my next one in the storytelling, because it's going to be interesting. I have a long story to tell, but it doesn't really connect to this one, so I decided to do it in another video. So anyway, have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.